Commander Crix stood firm on the bridge, eyes fixed as the blue planet expanded across the main display. His squadron of 3 vessels had crossed light days to reach this quiet, forgotten corner of the stars. Scans revealed an atmosphere perfect for sustaining life. Even better, the signals drifting from the world were weak, unsophisticated. Perfect, he thought. Another young race ready to be guided. The Zephyrian fleet had done this countless times. Arrive, establish contact, and gradually fold a species into the larger galactic family. The pattern never changed. Primitive awe, eager, gratitude, acceptance of protection. Yet something here felt different. Captain Jake Morrison settled in his command chair aboard the USS Defiant as it glided near Jupiter on what seemed routine patrol. Suddenly, alarms flared. 3 unknown signatures entering from the outer system. Size and configuration? Jake asked. Large, sir. Roughly twice our scale. No known design, Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez answered. Jake leaned forward. Humanity's question was finally answered. Were they alone? And the answer was now approaching. Signal Earth Command, he ordered. Tell them visitors are coming. In his office, Admiral Paul Bennett read the report. He had trained his entire career for this moment. Protocols existed for exactly such an event. Dr. Lisa Grant and her team had dedicated years preparing for contact. Patch me through to the Defiant, he said. Jake's face appeared. Admiral, the ships are holding distance. No hostile activity. Paul nodded. Follow protocols exactly. Dr. Grant is en route to Luna Base. Keep them engaged until she arrives. As the Zephyrian fleet slowed, Commander Crickstall studied the human craft. Smaller, yes, yet its design disturbed him. The dark hull was seamless, weapons concealed but detectable. Transmit the greeting sequence, he commanded. Prime numbers, equations, the universal proof of reason. Rodriguez watched the signal unfold. Captain, it's mathematics. Simple progressions. Reply with the same extend the sequence, Jake ordered. A response arrived swiftly. The exchange grew, each side layering complexity. Crixt was impressed. The humans learned quickly. Open a channel, he said. First words flowed between species. We are the Zephyrian people. We come in peace. Morrison exhaled. Welcome. We are humans of Earth. We too come in peace. Hours passed with cautious, measured dialogue. Zephyrians probed human society. Humans questioned the galaxy. But Crixt grew uneasy. Power readings from the Defiant were higher than projected. Communications were sharper than expected. And their answers to questions about capability remained vague. At Luna Base, Dr. Grant assumed control. Calm, poised, she noted their unease. They seemed startled by human strengths. We invite you to visit Earth, she said. We can learn together. Crixt agreed, though troubled. This was wrong. Humans were supposed to be astonished, not composed. He coded a report to the Galactic Council. Species more advanced than predicted. Exercise caution. The Council's reply came quick. Proceed. All young races appear impressive at first. Yet Crixt knew better. Dozens of contacts taught him the difference. This felt other. Ambassador Helen Carter greeted the Zephyrian delegation warmly, clad in her finest uniform. Her smile was polished, but her eyes caught how the aliens scrutinized everything. Humanity has long wondered if we were alone, she said. Crickstall bowed politely. We welcome you to the community of stars. Much we can teach. The word teach hung sharp, sounding less like generosity and more like command. Outwardly, the day went well. Information exchanged, cooperation promised, technology offered. But Colonel Steve Parker, monitoring from security, studied the aliens' reactions. Not admiration, concern. Amy, he asked quietly, What do they mean when they speak of our systems? She frowned. Their terms translate closest to unexpected and concerning. They're worried. That night, as the aliens retired, Crickstall dispatched another report. Human technology equals our own. Military posture unusually advanced. Urgent direction required. The answer was curt. Impossible. Continue integration. Report resistance. But Crixt could not deny the truth. These humans were not what the Council expected. Not primitives, something altogether different. Alone at his viewport, he gazed at the silent stars. For the first time in his long command, unease settled deep. Had the Zephyrians made a terrible miscalculation? Tomorrow promised more meetings, more words, and more revelations awaited, but tonight both sides rested, aware that nothing would ever remain the same. The galaxy was on the verge of transformation. At Luna Base, the conference room simmered with unease. Dr. Kevin Walsh faced the Zephyrian delegation, listening carefully to their words. They spoke of the stars as though they owned them. The Eternal Confederation has preserved peace for more than 10 millennia, Crix declared. We guide the young into the galactic family. It is our duty to protect and instruct. Walsh nodded with courtesy, though unease stirred. Guide and protect sounded uncomfortably like control and dominate. How many species belong to this confederation? He asked. Over 3,000, Crixt answered proudly, all living in harmony under our direction. The number shook Walsh. 3,000 civilizations, bound to alien rules, united under a single hand. It felt less like a family and far more like an empire. Meanwhile, on Earth, Colonel Steve Parker wrestled with darker conclusions. His intelligence staff had dissected Zephyrian systems. The discoveries unsettled him. Sir, said Lieutenant Julie Hayes, their weapons are actually inferior to ours. Steve blinked. Their vessels are larger, but the tech inside is older. He frowned. That makes no sense. If they are so advanced, why are their weapons weaker? Julie hesitated. Maybe they never required stronger weapons. The thought chilled Steve. An interstellar empire, never truly opposed. Thousands of species bound without resistance. Suddenly their peace resembled submission. Back at Luna Base, the arrival of Council Speaker Thredak proved the point. His escort was nothing like Crixt's small expedition. 12, towering. Warships encircled the moon in an obvious display of strength. Ambassador Helen Carter greeted them with measured grace. We welcome you to our system. Thredak was larger, his robes ornate, his retinue of armed guards intimidating. We come to finalize your place within the galactic order. Your integration is complete. The word integration made Helen's skin tighten. It sounded less like inclusion, more like absorption. We appreciate your offer, she replied cautiously. But humanity values independence. We seek friendship, not integration. Thredak's expression shifted. His vast eyes narrowed. His guards moved closer. Independence is not permitted for young races. The galaxy is perilous. You require our protection. It was the first naked threat. Every human present felt its weight. Meanwhile, Dr. Chris Johnson, proudly touring medical facilities, revealed another shock. This is our nanomedicine lab, he explained. We repair cellular injury on the molecular scale. The aliens froze, their faces twisted with something close to fear. Nanomedicine, one whispered. That knowledge was lost centuries ago. Chris blinked. Lost? We developed this only 5 years ago. Alarm flickered in their voices as they muttered rapidly in their tongue. At the same time, Engineer Maria Lopez guided them through the power complex. She gestured to glowing reactors. Our fusion systems run at 93% efficiency. We hope to reach 95 soon. The lead alien scientist gave a strangled gasp sound. 93%? That is impossible. Our finest reactors barely achieve 70. Maria only shrugged. We made breakthroughs in magnetic containment. Once the math aligned, it wasn't difficult. The alien scientist paled, visibly shaken. That evening, General Frank Williams hosted a formal dinner for the delegation, striving for warmth, though the discussion kept drifting oddly. Earth is beautiful, Threndak remarked. Yet it appears crowded. What is your population? Roughly 8 billion, Frank answered. Silence fell across the table. The aliens stared in disbelief. 8 billion? Threndak repeated. On a single world? Yes, though expansion has begun. We now maintain colonies across 12 star systems. The silence deepened until Crixto finally spoke, voice unsteady. 12 star systems? When did you attain interstellar flight? About 30 years ago, Frank replied. We've been busy. Terror flickered across alien faces. Later, Frank would learn the reason. Most Confederation races numbered only in millions. Colonization of even one other world took centuries. Humanity had stretched across 12 systems in barely 3 decades. Meanwhile, Captain Nancy Bell detailed the Mars terraforming effort when she realized the aliens were no longer listening. Their eyes were fixed on their communicators, panic mounting. Is something wrong? She asked. Threndak looked up, wide-eyed. You are terraforming Mars? Altering an entire world's atmosphere? Well, yes, Nancy answered. It's slow, but progressing. Atmospheric density is already 20% higher than 50 years ago. The aliens muttered urgently among themselves, their tone frantic. Nancy did not understand their words, but she could sense alarm, perhaps even fear. Elsewhere, Dr. Ryan Foster stumbled upon the revelation that would shatter everything. An archaeologist, he specialized in humanity's earliest civilizations. Preparing for the alien visit, he had reviewed recent findings. Look at this, he told his assistant, displaying a star map. Evidence shows ancient human settlements on 17 different worlds, all inside Confederation territory. His assistant frowned. That's impossible. The aliens insisted those planets were uninhabited when discovered. Ryan nodded, grimly. That's what I thought too. But the artifacts are clear. Humans lived there thousands of years ago. The implications struck like thunder. If humans had walked among the stars ages past, then what had befallen them? Where had they vanished? And why had modern humanity forgotten entirely? Ryan immediately transmitted his findings to Earth Command. Within hours, Admiral Paul Bennett was on secure calls with every major world leader. The situation has shifted, he warned. The aliens have deceived us. We must reevaluate everything. At Luna Base, the Zephyrian delegation was in panic. Threndak sent desperate messages to the Confederation capital. Humans are not as they appear. They wield technology we lost centuries ago. Their population exceeds most Confederation worlds, combined. They've colonized 12 systems unchallenged, and now we uncover proof of ancient human settlements scattered across the galaxy. The Confederation's reply was chilling. Implement containment at once. Control this species before. They destabilize the order. But containment was impossible. Humanity was already too advanced, too dispersed, too independent. As dawn approached, both sides understood the truth. The aliens had expected primitives to dominate. Instead, they discovered rivals, perhaps superiors. First contact was finished. The real contest was beginning. On Nexus Prime, capital of the Eternal Confederation, High Counselor Vexthara convened the Great Chamber. Representatives of hundreds of species shouted over one another, but the subject was the same everywhere: humanity. "Order!" Vexthera's voice boomed. "We will assess this threat systematically." The word threat made many uneasy. The Confederation had known no true adversary for over a millennium. They had grown complacent, confident in their supremacy. "Reports from Sol are troubling," Vexthera continued. "This species holds technology on par with ours. Their military strength is uncertain but significant. Most troubling, they refuse integration into our Confederation." In the back rows, young delegates whispered nervously. They had been raised to believe the Confederation invincible. That one species could challenge it was unthinkable. On Earth, Director Sam Mitchell faced similar worries. From the other angle, leading humanity's global intelligence service, he briefed President Lara Davis. "The Confederation are not peacekeepers," he said. "They are conquerors disguised in fine words." Lara leaned forward. "Explain." Sam's tone hardened. "Every species they guide is deliberately suppressed. Populations are capped, militaries dismantled. They are not partners. They are subjects of empire." The president went pale. "And they plan the same for us." "They expected compliance," Sam answered, "but we are not cooperating." In Colorado, Agent Julie Hayes monitored intercepted transmissions. Her team had cracked alien ciphers weeks earlier, keeping it hidden. Now she was glad. "They're terrified," she reported. "They call us an apex predator species, a galactic destabilizer." Her chief, Tony Martinez, frowned. "Meaning?" Julie's eyes narrowed. "Meaning they see us as monsters just awakened." Their fear had reason. The Confederation structure relied on remaining the galaxy's apex. Better fleets, better tech, unmatched experience. But humans were defying all of it. At Luna Base, matters escalated. The aliens proposed a cultural exchange, showcasing their greatest weaponry. Ambassador Helen Carter agreed, expecting an informative display. Commander Tony Baker oversaw the demonstration. He watched as aliens prepared their crown jewel, a plasma cannon capable of obliterating a small moon. "This," Threndak declared proudly, "is the pinnacle of Confederation military science, the result of millennia of refinement." The weapon fired, annihilating the test target. Alien faces glowed with satisfaction. "Impressive," Tony said evenly. "Would you care to see one of ours?" Expecting crude imitations, they nodded. Instead, Baker activated a human shield generator. The aliens fired again. The plasma bolt struck and vanished. The blast dissolved harmlessly against the barrier as though it were nothing. The alien delegation stood frozen. Their supreme weapon had been dismissed like a spark. "How is that possible?" Threndak murmured. Tony only shrugged. "Basic energy manipulation. We cracked it about a decade ago." The aliens instantly understood the gravity of their error. The display, intended to prove human weakness, had instead revealed terrifying strength. Intelligence Officer Beth Turner was monitoring transmissions when she intercepted a message that chilled her blood. The Confederation's leadership was openly discussing military options. Fleet mobilization authorized. Prepare for pacification protocols. Species designation. Priority threat. Beth immediately contacted her superior. "Sir, the aliens are preparing for war. They're moving fleets under the disguise of standard patrols." On Earth, Admiral Kate Sullivan reviewed the intelligence and began bracing for humanity's defense. Yet one problem remained. Human doctrine had been written to fight humans, not extraterrestrials. "We must assume they possess capabilities we can't yet imagine," she told her command staff. "Prepare for the absolute worst." That worst meant a galactic empire of thousands of species declaring humanity unfit to exist. Late that night, Dr. Alex Green made a discovery that shifted everything. While studying relics unearthed across several worlds, he uncovered a translation that stunned him. This can't be right," he whispered. It claims these artifacts belong to a vast human empire that ruled the galaxy 12,000 years ago. Running the program again yielded the same results. They weren't alien. They were ancient human. Stunned, Alex immediately called Dr. Sarah Kim. "Sarah, you have to see this. I think humanity's history in space is far older than we imagined." Within the hour, she arrived and studied the proof. "If this is true," she said softly, "we aren't entering the galaxy. We're returning to it." The implications were overwhelming. If humanity had once ruled, what destroyed them? Why had modern people forgotten? And if they were once so powerful, what could their descendants accomplish now? Answers emerged quickly. Across Luna, Mars, and scattered asteroids, dormant human technology was uncovered, far beyond anything living civilizations possessed. Dr. Peter Clark, directing the lunar team, revealed the most unsettling truth. The ancients. Nexus Prime, High Counselor Vexthera, received the latest reports. Her hands trembled as she read of the ancient empire and its unmatched technology. "Signal every Confederation fleet," she commanded. "Maximum alert status. We are no longer confronting a young species. We face the return of the galaxy's masters." But it was already too late. Ancient systems across forgotten human worlds were reactivating. The descendants of that empire were reclaiming their inheritance. The balance of the galaxy was shifting again. Deep beneath Luna, Dr. Peter Clark stood inside an ancient chamber, staring at technology that defied belief. Symbols glowed along the walls, while machines hummed with long-dormant energy. "The carbon dating confirms it," his assistant, Dr. Maria Santos, said. "Over 12,000 years old, yet still functioning." Peter touched a panel. It flickered alive instantly. Ancient text streamed across it, strangely familiar. "It's as though it's been waiting for us," he whispered. "As though it knows who we are, human." On Mars, Professor Linda Shaw was facing an even more unsettling revelation. She had been examining genetic samples from human volunteers when she noticed an anomaly. "Run the test again," she instructed her lab assistant, Dr. James Wong. "Already done it 5 times, Professor," James answered. "The results are the same. Every human possessed dormant genetic markers matching the ancient DNA from the archaeological sites." Linda stared in shock. "What does that imply?" "It means," James replied carefully, "we are not merely descended from the ancients. We are the ancients. The genetic alterations they made remain embedded in our DNA, waiting to be reawakened. And the awakening has already begun." Soldiers exposed to the old technology were manifesting extraordinary traits. Sergeant Joe Martinez, posted at the Luna Base dig site, realized his reflexes had doubled. "I can see everything," he told his commander. "It's like time itself has slowed." Corporal Diane Foster, assigned to the Morris complex, found herself operating alien machines effortlessly. "I don't know how," she admitted, "but it feels like I've been doing this forever." The transformation was spreading fast. Anyone who encountered the ancient devices saw hidden abilities surface, sharper minds, heightened senses, unnatural strength. They were becoming what their forebears had once been. The Confederation observed these changes with mounting dread. High Counselor Vexthera summoned the War Council. "They are not evolving," she warned grimly. "They are remembering. Our intelligence suggests these humans are the very species that once ruled the stars." Supreme Commander Thamer dismissed it with scorn. "Nonsense. The old empire collapsed thousands of years ago. These humans are savages from a forgotten world." Nexthar answered coldly. "The evidence says otherwise. Their science leaps forward at impossible speed. Their biology is altering. Ancient defense grids throughout the galaxy respond to them." She was correct. Across long-abandoned planets, automated systems stirred to life. worlds barren for ages, now blazed with shields the Confederation couldn't break. Fleet Admiral Rick Thompson coordinated Earth's defenses when the Confederation finally struck. Cloaked as a peacekeeping force, it was clearly an invasion. 12 fleets converging from multiple vectors, reported Captain Sandra Lee. They're encircling the system. Thompson triggered the hidden defense plans prepared since first contact. All units, execute Plan Alpha. Show them what we've truly built. The ships that emerged weren't the crude craft aliens knew. They were elegant, devastating, armed with technologies that made Confederation vessels obsolete. General Carroll Watson, leading the Colonial Defense Forces, relayed grim news. All colonies are under simultaneous attack, she reported, but our defenses are holding firm. The Confederation had expected an effortless conquest. Human fleets were presumed. Weak human science primitive. They were mistaken. Commander Greg Davis, stationed on New Texas, stared at his consoles as automated fortifications roared awake. "Look at those readings," he said. "We're not just resisting, we're overwhelming them." The ancient human defense web was rising again across the stars. Systems slumbering 12 millennia recognized their creator's heirs. Dr. Matt Turner, decoding archives at a dig site, uncovered the greatest secret yet. The old empire had never fallen. It withdrew. Deliberately, he revealed to the Emergency Council. President Lara Davis leaned forward. "What do you mean?" Matt explained that the ancient humans realized galactic dominance had made them stagnant. Their strength left them with no real challenges. So, they made a choice. They dismantled their empire, scattered across the stars, and went into hiding. Why? To allow the galaxy to grow freely while they rediscovered what it meant to truly be human. Matt said they wanted to return to their origins and remember why they had risen to greatness. The plan succeeded perfectly. Humanity spent millennia advancing in art, culture, philosophy, and science without the burden of empire. They became more human, not less, but now the galaxy needed them once again. The Confederation had created a stale order where progress was suppressed and individual species silenced. It was exactly what the ancients had sought to prevent. The final battle began when the Confederation's fleet struck directly at Earth. High Counselor Vexthera herself led the attack, intent on erasing humanity before their influence spread. "All ships target the human homeworld," she commanded. "End this now." Yet as the Armada closed on Earth, something extraordinary occurred. The planet's ancient defenses reawakened. A radiant shield enveloped the world, blocking all fire. Then the ancient human capital ship rose from its hiding place, deep in the galactic core. The colossal vessel dwarfed entire fleets and set course for Earth. Admiral Haight Sullivan stared in awe as it moved between the planet and its attackers. "It's protecting us," she whispered. "After 12,000 years, it still protects us." The Confederation unleashed every weapon, but their fire was swallowed effortlessly by shields designed to endure the wrath of whole systems. Then the ship answered. A single burst of power disabled the entire fleet without destroying them. Their systems dead, their weapons useless, they drifted helpless in silence. It was not slaughter, it was demonstration. Humanity's ancients had returned stronger than ever. Vexthera gazed at the vast ship in despair. "We have awakened what should have remained hidden," she muttered. But she was wrong. Humanity had not slept. They had grown, learned, and prepared. The galaxy's old rulers had returned to claim their place among the stars. The Confederation's reign was ending. The era of humankind was rising anew. President Lara Davis stood on the bridge of the ancient capital ship, staring at starlight through windows that had witnessed civilizations rise and fall. After 12 millennia hidden, the vessel now symbolized humanity's rebirth as a galactic power. The ship recognizes you as humanity's rightful leader, explained the artificial intelligence that had maintained it for ages. It spoke, through Dr. Emily Watson, its modern interface. It has awaited this day. Lara felt history's full weight upon her. She was no longer merely Earth's president. She was leader of a species reclaiming its destiny. Around her stood delegates from human and alien worlds. A new galactic assembly was forming, but this time upon cooperation, not rule. High Counselor Vexthara stood respectfully nearby, the once proud enemy now serving as advisor to the newborn order. "The Confederation's age is over," she said quietly. "We yield to humanity's leadership." But Lara shook her head. "No. There will be no rulers, no empires. The galaxy belongs to all of us." Secretary of State Dan Roberts drafted the new galactic charter with representatives of hundreds of species. The document enshrined equality, cooperation, and mutual respect. "Every species shall have a voice," he explained. "Every world its own path. No more guidance from above." The delegates listened in awe and uncertainty. After so long, under Confederation dominance, they had forgotten freedom. Captain Tim Johnson commanded the first joint human-alien crew aboard the reborn Starship Enterprise. Integration was difficult but working. Humans and aliens labored side by side as equals. "Set course for the Andromeda sector," he ordered. "There are new worlds to explore." His first officer, once Confederation Commander Crix, acknowledged, proudly. The alien who had once dismissed humanity now served under them with pride. "The unknown awaits us, Captain," Crix said. "Together we will uncover what lies beyond." The change was not easy. Many species crushed by the Confederation had forgotten how to stand free. Human advisors partnered with them to help rebuild new governments and societies. Dr. Kevin Walsh founded the first interspecies university on Nexus Prime. Students of many races studied together, sharing ideas and traditions. "Education is the path to lasting peace," he told his diverse classes. "When we understand one another, fear disappears." The ancient human AI, speaking through Dr. Emily Watson, revealed the galaxy's true past. The great human empire had not been cruel or tyrannical. It had been a golden age of exploration and discovery. "But power corrupts," the AI explained. "Our ancestors realized they were becoming what they once resisted. They withdrew before turning into oppressors." That retreat had been carefully planned over centuries. The ancients scattered their people across the stars, erasing history and technology. They wanted their heirs to rediscover greatness through struggle and growth. They succeeded. Modern humanity is stronger and the first joint colony. The planet New Harmony became a symbol of cooperation's power. "This world was barren 5 years ago," John told visiting dignitaries. "Now it houses 3 million citizens from 12 species." The terraforming that made New Harmony possible was born of human engineering and alien knowledge. Neither could have done it alone. Children born on New Harmony spoke multiple languages and grew up in many cultures. They were the first true galactic citizens. Military changes were equally striking. The Confederation's massive fleets dissolved, replaced by smaller mixed exploration and defense groups. Admiral Kate Sullivan led the Galactic Defense Force, a fleet composed of every member species. Their mission was not conquest, but protection. "We will shield the weak and explore the unknown," she declared at the founding ceremony. "We will be guardians, not conquerors." Economic reforms transformed society. The Confederation had controlled trade and technology, binding members' independence. Now innovation and competition thrived. Dr. Lisa Grant launched the Galactic Research Institute, where scientists of every race collaborated on groundbreaking projects. Its first triumph was a new type of faster-than-light drive that opened distant galaxies to exploration. "Science knows no species," she told her teams. Knowledge belongs to all. The cultural rebirth was perhaps most important. For millennia, the Confederation had suppressed identity for uniformity. Now every species celebrated its heritage. Galleries displayed art from dozens of worlds. Music fused human melodies with alien harmonies. Literature explored universal truths through many perspectives. Engineer Maria Lopez spearheaded projects to restore devastated planets scarred by Confederation rule. Using advanced human methods and alien wisdom, her teams revived worlds that had been stripped bare. Every planet deserves life, she said, watching new forests rise on long-dead soil. We aren't just rebuilding, we're creating something better. Ancient human installations were repurposed into schools and research hubs. Weapons of old became tools for peace. Dr. Peter Clark, who first uncovered the Luna facility, became head of the Archaeological Preservation Society. His mission was to study and safeguard the old empire's remains while ensuring wise use. The past teaches, he told his students, but must not dominate. We must learn from ancestral mistakes to forge a brighter future. Transformation reached daily life. Routes once carrying tribute to the Confederation capital now linked free worlds in networks of shared benefit. Children raised under Confederation law now discovered democracy, rights, and freedom. For many, these were revolutionary ideas. General Frank Williams established the Galactic Peacekeeping Academy, training representatives from every race in diplomacy and conflict resolution. Its motto was clear: strength through understanding. War should be the final resort, he told his mixed classes. The wisest leaders find peace without violence. Religious and philosophical changes were just as profound. The Confederation had forced one belief system on all. The new galactic order embraced spiritual diversity. Ambassador Helen Carter organized the first Interfaith Council, gathering leaders from hundreds of faiths. Their dialogue opened new insights into consciousness and existence. Every people searches for the same truths, she observed. We only express them differently. The prosperity that followed shocked even optimists. Freed to innovate, species unleashed creativity. New sciences, arts, and philosophies bloomed. Captain Nancy Bell commanded one of the new exploration ships venturing into uncharted space. Her mixed crew discovered countless worlds and many new species. The galaxy is more vast and varied than we imagined, she reported. Each day brings wonders. These new races were welcomed instantly as equals. There were no forced integration protocols. They entered the community as partners. Dr. Chris Johnson's medical research thrived in such diversity. Each race shared unique knowledge of biology, healing, and life itself. Diseases that had plagued species for millennia were cured through combined effort. Life expresses itself in endless ways, he mused, studying a new organism. Diversity is our strength. The ancient AI steadily passed its wisdom to the galaxy's new citizens. It spoke of the danger of power and the need for humility. Your ancestors gave up empire, it explained through Dr. Watson, because they knew a greater truth. True strength comes no